Hello and cheers! Welcome to Americans Learn. My name is Lauren, and today I am going to be reacting to a James Acaster compilation of his appearances on Would I Lie to You. I've seen a little bit of Would I Lie to You, mostly right so far what I've seen is a lot of the Bob Mortimer stuff, and I've had people telling me that I need to branch out a little bit. I do know a little bit about James Acaster. I've seen him in Taskmaster and Big Fat Quiz, and I have seen several of his comedy specials. So I'm curious to see if I can do better on this one that I did on Bob Mortimer. I want to know how well I know James Acaster. I want to see if I can guess his tells. I just want to know how much I know about James. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. If there's anything that you would prefer I react to, make sure you let me know in the comments below and I will make that happen for you. And let's just enjoy, huh? Let's just go and enjoy. I'm excited to find out what I know about him.
And a comedian whose first job was selling ice creams. I bet he made hundreds and thousands. It's James Acaster. James, you're first up.
I once spent the night in a bush in Basingstoke.
David's team. Right.
That's a true.
Yeah.
Immediately, yes, he did. He looks like the type.
Why were you spending the night in a bush in Basingstoke?
I missed my train.
Where do you live?
Well, at the time, I lived in Kettering in Northamptonshire,
Right.
Rose of the Shires.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you go to a luxury hotel?
Well, David, at the time, I had no money in my wallet at all, and my phone was dead. I had no way of contacting anyone.
That certainly adds up.
Why a bush? Why not a bench or, like, somewhere warmer than a bush?
Well,
Is a bench warmer than a bush?
I would say a bush is warmer than a
A
bench.
bench is definitely colder than a bush. It's more exposed.
there's an old saying, you're warmer in a bush than on a bench.
Is that...
So where was the bush? Paint the picture of the local
It was right
area.
in front of the train station. And there was like a little, like, pick-up point for taxis and stuff. And then it went down a little bit to the road. And then right in front of the road, just a load of bushes.
So you didn't look for a long time for a particularly
No, it
comfy
doesn't seem
spot?
like you
I'll
did.
level with you, David. The amount of time it took me to decide to sleep in the bush was embarrassingly short.
Right. Was it? Now that does surprise me. It was a quick decision. You've missed your train and you go, right, that's it. And you immediately, like 14 seconds later, you're snoring.
Well, I actually didn't get to sleep. It was scary. I was freezing, actually.
I don't know.
Even though the bush, it was a nice roomy bush.
Can you remember the shape of the leaves?
David. Leaf-shaped? Like, what do you expect him to say here? What would you all do if you were in that situation, if you have no phone and there's a bush and you don't have a train? What would you do in that situation? I think I would just wander until I found a cab, I think.
It was like small little Basingstoke leaves.
Individual leaves?
Yeah.
Variegated?
OK. You have to explain what that word
Yes.
means.
What does that mean?
It means there's sort of, there's a sort of white bit on the outside, I think.
David
I wasn't
did
paying
not-
attention to
David
these.
doesn't
I
know
had
what
bigger
variegated
problems
means.
At the time, I wasn't sitting in the bush going, one day, I may have to justify this entire experience on what I like. I better memorise the leaves and whether they're gentrified or whatever you said.
So, James,
I really would have thought that variegated means they're different. Like each leaf. Maybe I guess that's what he's saying. There's white around the outside. I just would have thought that it would have meant that they're kind of different shapes because, you know, they're various. I don't know.
you've settled down in the bush
Yes.
and you're lying there, but it's cold.
Oh, I'm sitting there,
Sitting in the bush.
sitting there, cross-legged and cold. I had a T-shirt on.
How are you going to go to sleep sitting?
I was scared.
So why are you going in the bush?
It was Friday night in Basingstoke. There were hoodlums around.
And all you had on was a T-shirt.
I would have asked one of them
jeans,
for
of
a
course.
Yes.
phone.
I still feel like the bench is warmer.
So, did anybody hear you in the bush and come and
At
investigate?
one point they did. At one point some hoodlums stopped outside the bush. They said, you know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't beaten someone up in a while.
That's what they said out loud, is it?
That's how they Bullies speak, David. Bullies speak like that to each other. And I was in the bush, and at the time I was wearing a red dress.
What did you say? What?
I was wearing a dress by now.
Why? You said you're in a T-shirt.
Originally I was in a T-shirt, and then I had to put a dress on.
Why did you put a dress on?
It was cold.
When you get a dress?
I had it in a bag.
He just keeps adding details, doesn't
I
he?
was making a short film, and I had to buy the wardrobe for the cast.
You're in the bush. The hoodlums had moved on. They didn't beat you up.
I tricked them. I put the bag over my head.
You seriously put the bag over your head?
Yeah, put yourself in my shoes. They're saying they want to beat someone up. If they look down and see me wearing a dress, it'll be like Christmas. So I put the bag over my head, and now if they look down, they'll think someone's left a bag and a dismembered body in a bush.
Oh, no.
People at home, don't put bags on your heads.
Let's go back to the temperature of this bush now.
Who's that guy?
You said you went into the
He's
dress
funny. I wanna know who that
warm,
guy
but
is.
Surely the jeans and the T-shirt were warmer than a dress. There's a lot
I
of
don't
ventilation.
think. I think
he
to
said
be
he put
fair,
the dress
I
on
don't think
over.
he took the jeans.
Yeah.
and the t-shirt.
Oh, it was double.
Yeah,
No, but he didn't slip out of the jeans and the T-shirt. Fold them up nicely at the side, and then get the dress and put it on and go, oh, I look wonderful. He wasn't doing that.
Oh, right.
By the end of the night, he's wearing the jeans, the t-shirt, the dress, and the bag.
On the back.
May I just say,
What an
it's
outfit.
lucky this didn't happen to Melvin, because if so, he'd have been on a bench wearing a dress and nothing else.
No, I think Melvin might have just asked one of the people roaming about for a phone. People are nicer than you think, I think. Maybe not in
Let's
wherever
go
he is.
for a guess. Is he telling the truth? Melvin, what do you think?
I think, looking at James, I can believe that he could put on a dress with a bag over his jeans and T-shirt, but a man that picks a bush over a bench, I can't trust. So on that basis, it's a lie.
That's an interesting way to pick a...
Hey.
I've got to absolutely say it's true. I'm
True.
believing every element, really.
I'm going to go true.
True.
Yeah.
You're saying true. Right. James, was it true or was it a lie?
It's true.
I feel like maybe I'd seen that one before. I feel like it
Yes,
felt
it's true.
familiar.
James did once spend the night in a bush in Basingstoke.
Basingstoke. So, okay,
cool.
I'm from Chicago, so put Basingstoke in like a level, like for me, from something I would understand. What is Basingstoke like? Because if it's I don't know, like it's not gonna be like downtown. If it is like the West Loop, if you know what the West Loop is, then I can see why you don't want to talk to anybody, but surely you can find a cab. And then, like, you get to your apartment or whatever, and you say, hold up, you know where I live, I'm going to go and grab my money. Maybe cabs just let me do that.
I used to regularly pay my friend to clean my rubbers.
Don't you rub a dirty rubber against a clean piece of paper and it sort of cleans itself?
Oh, okay.
Why do you need to clean a car?
Okay. I forgot that that in not America, a rubber means something different.
You just wipe it all over and it cleans itself.
What is your...
10 years of this kind of
What's-
bullying.
Seems like you deserve it though, Lee.
Look, the thing is, during my one, which was true, I started thinking it was a lie. So I haven't got a clue anymore. I actually kind of think it sounds true, but then for that reason, I want to say it's a lie.
You've been a big help, thank you.
I mean, it's just as interesting a decision-making process as Melvin over there had of, I don't trust you because you said you slept in a bush and not a bench.
So please welcome this week's special guest, Mick.
Okay, I have seen this part before. Because I did a video about, like, specifically this one.
This is Mick, and I deliberately tripped him up during the wheelbarrow race at my son's sports day.
This is Mick, and for 6 months, he was my sworn enemy when a practical joke got out of hand.
can feel, you know, these horrible thoughts coming into my mind.
I did
You
get
know,
this
we
one
could
correct.
Take him out. You know, we could.
When I first watched this video, that actually we could
should take
probably
him out.
link below the first time I watched this.
would you like
I did get it right
Okay.
eventually. I was really torn
So
though.
Mick became your sworn enemy because of a practical joke.
That got out of hand.
That got out of
That's
hand.
important.
Yes.
It got out
So
of
what
hand.
was the practical joke or prank?
First of all, I'll say for the record before we carry on, I hate this boy. I'm nothing but content for him, and I'm furious he's got on this show.
How do you think I feel? I can only see him every second Friday.
So what was the practical joke, James?
He
A
put
good one.
cabbage leaves in my bed.
How did he get in your room?
I was staying at his house.
On a sleepover?
See, that's what I got confused about the first time I saw this too. It's like, why was he there? Like he's friends with the dad or
he wouldn't have
something,
been
but like,
born.
still, I was like,
He was 9.
why is he friend? Like, I don't know.
21?
I still want to know why he was there in the
I
first
was,
place.
what, 28? 29?
And how do you know him?
But I know his dad. He's his son.
He's his dad's son. See, sometimes James has like, you know, he usually has this really straight, like strict persona, like this kind of like grumpy persona that he's got going on. But occasionally I think he says something that surprises even himself and he just starts laughing. And I always like that when I see that happen.
Staying at their house.
Yes.
Why did he put cabbage leaves? Why is that a thing?
Well, it's not a thing until he started doing it.
Yeah.
There's something severely wrong with him. I don't know why he started.
But you say
Pulling this kind of
started
stunt.
doing it. Was
Yeah.
It, what do you mean start? This is a one.
This is the getting out of hand part.
Oh, is it?
Thing there. Well, I don't know.
This is the first of many, David.
So
I said got out of hand. I do not use those words lightly.
So you regularly stay at the house of.
Oh, no. Oh. This little man does not restrict these pranks to his own house.
He's a criminal mastermind in the
He has
making,
no
this
respect
kid.
for anyone's privacy and will cross any boundaries available to him.
And his parents
I
and
hate him
family
with
are
all
just
my
as bad. I
heart.
love it.
So he initially put cabbage leaves in the bed you were sleeping in when you were
True.
staying at his father's. Yes. Right? And then subsequently,
Yes.
he has followed you and put cabbage leaves in other places you've been sleeping.
No.
Okay? What then?
He sent me a cabbage in the post.
Look how proud he looks.
He sent me half a cabbage, cling filmed, in a box. I was out when they delivered it. I had to go to the post office to pick it up. There was a note inside that said, "You got cabbaged again."
So, okay, so he's doing that. Did you, bearing in mind that this is a minor, did you at any...
It was a major as far as I'm concerned.
Did you at any point retaliate?
Yeah, but it took me 6 months.
What did you do?
Well, it's like he's a minor, but he had to get someone to help him post the thing, so you know the family is involved.
6 months of this.
Well,
I-
but you say 6 months of this.
Yeah.
What is this? There's the initial cabbage leaves in the bed at,
Yeah.
at his house,
Yeah.
and there's the posted half cabbage.
Yeah.
Anything else?
His granddad cabbaged me to my face.
What does that mean?
He gave me a present. It was all wrapped up nice. I thought it was a nice present. I unwrapped it. It was another half a cabbage wrapped in cling film. Members of the public started cabbaging me. I made the mistake of talking about it on the radio, and then everyone got the idea, and I couldn't turn up to a gig without there being a cabbage hidden somewhere in my dressing room.
Well, thank God you're playing safe and not saying it on telly, eh?
Gonna be even worse. I don't know, did it get worse?
So, did you retaliate? Did...
Absolutely did. I removed all of his belongings from his bedroom and replaced them with cabbages.
That's, I would say, a disproportionate response.
6 months of my life, David.
I don't know if
6
it's
months of my life
disproportionate,
Not knowing where the
honestly.
next cabbage was coming from. It was horrible. I had to go big. I've been cabbaged so many times. Someone had started a Twitter account, was tweeting pictures of cabbages on me every day. They said stuff like "Oi, oi, Savoy." It was horrible.
What does the way away Savoy mean? Why did it say that? Is it just because it rhymes?
I would say that anyone Anyone who can enjoy that joke about a lettuce would have to be a sociopath.
All right. So, David's team. Is Mick Gabby's cheated child?
Maybe.
James's feuding friend?
Maybe.
Or Lee's traded toddler?
No.
I believe Gabby, but James is just weird, so I believe him even more.
Your paranoid view seems to be the whole country's in on it. Now everyone's sending you cabbages.
Every time people laugh at me, I suspect they're my enemy, which makes my job very difficult.
Oh, I don't know. James.
You're going for James. Mick, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Mick, and I am James's worst enemy.
Oh. I like that kid. I hope he's going places.
Yes. Mick is James's feuding friend, and here's the proof that that is what James did to Mick's bedroom.
See, but again, like, his parents had to be in on this. So, like, that's a fun family right there. I find that very entertaining.
Thank you very much, Mick.
I recently ended up in A&E after attempting to use a sledgehammer to crack a nut.
Lee's team.
Right. Who was there, by the way, in this? Who was witnessing this?
There were, my parents were there, my brother, his wife, my wife.
Peter Gabriel.
David's not going to get that joke.
I don't get that joke either.
Oh, sledgehammer. Oh, yeah. Very good.
Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Rob and David aren't going to get this joke.
I have no idea, but there wasn't anyone called Peter Gabriel.
Sorry, is it really the thumb? Can we have a look?
You'll find there's absolutely no visible scar. And neither is there on that one.
What are you thinking, Lee? Has this been the truth, or has he made it up?
I believe.
You know what? I haven't seen this one. I have no idea if David Mitchell has in fact gone to A&E because of a sledgehammer, but looking at him, I believe it.
Everything until we looked at his funds.
There's nothing
And
there.
then I was like, that man not only has not hit himself in the thumb with a sledgehammer, but I don't think he's picked up anything in weeks.
Also, you know what? I will say it would be very, very difficult to hit yourself with the sledgehammer on one like, why are you holding it with one hand? Unless you, like, you weren't expecting it to be as heavy. Because sledgehammers are big, right? Aren't they, like, large? I always imagine, like, sledgehammers are, maybe that's a pickaxe. Anyway, I just always imagine them as being very large. And so, like, try to pick one up with one hand. But again, it's David Mitchell, and he seems like the type who would try and pick it up and drop it, you know?
Truth or lie?
It is a lie.
See? I was like, it's too big.
A comedian who years ago sold ice creams for a living. I don't know which year exactly, but I'm guessing 99. It's James Acaster. And Noddy is first up.
Noddy?
One December night.
Noddy is a children's presenter?
While dressed as Joseph, I had to shove a donkey off a country lane. Well, a friend of mine used to have a party every Christmas time, just before Christmas. And it was always fancy dress.
So, whose party was it?
It was my best friend's party.
Okay.
And...
Did they have a name, Noddy?
Swin, his name was Swin.
Swin? I wish you'd have said Big Ears, but come on.
Suddenly, in the middle of the road, is a donkey. So I screeches to
Christmas
a halt,
time?
thinking, am I imagining this donkey, or is it a real donkey?
Is it possible it was just Elvis Costello turning up late to the party in fancy dress?
I got out the car to feel if it was real or not.
Or like a hallucination?
So you're genuinely
still not sure, even though you're right up to
sure.
it. You have to feel it to
I
see
had to feel it, so I gets behind him.
Good idea. Safest place with a donkey, Noddy.
What do you think, James?
I think it's true.
I think it's true. Again, I didn't hear the rest of the story. I didn't hear all their questions because this is about James and not the other people on the show. But I think it could be true, especially if it is if the story takes place around Christmas time. You know, it probably just got loose from a local church or something doing a nativity play.
But it's just nice to listen to him tell a story, and I kind of forgot halfway through I'm meant to be knowing if it's true or not. I think true.
True.
So would this be like if Mr. Rogers went on a game show like this and had to tell a story and you had to decide if it was true or not? Is that sort of the vibe I'm getting?
Okay, well, say
Saying it's true. Noddy, was it true or were you telling a lie?
It is true.
James, you're next.
One Christmas, on hearing I wasn't going to get the present I wanted, I tried to drown myself. In protest.
If he was under 10, I believe it.
Story.
Well, I wasn't going to get the present I wanted.
Which was? What did you want?
The Spice Girls' debut album, Spice.
It's a lie.
Yeah, I don't believe it already. You couldn't...
That's so weird, because I did get it, and I did try and drown myself.
No, don't applaud that. It's a great album.
How old were you then?
I was like 10 or 11.
Right.
So you wanted the album.
No, he
and then...
really wanted it.
Stop right now.
I liked that one.
So you wanted the album.
Yes,
What
I
happened?
really wanted it.
In case it don't use mine in the edit, yeah? Well, can I just say
James,
stop right now?
Yeah.
I love that one if they use this.
Who's your friend? Big Ears?
No, this one's not true. He's too old and
I wanted the Spice Girls.
he didn't know what it
album,
was.
Spice. And so did my sister. We've both been pestering our parents a lot for the album. My father decided he had to tell us before Christmas who was going to get the album or not, because he didn't want an upset on Christmas Day. And so he waited until we were in a safe space with the local swimming pool. We'd all gone for a family swim.
Yeah.
And
It's a lovely Christmassy thing to do. A lot of people.
An indoor
do a lot
pool,
of
sure, why
swimming in the
not?
run up to
But
Christmas.
Yes. Because it was in honour of the 7 swans of swimming.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We were swimming, and then my dad called a family meeting.
Shallow end.
Shallow end, yes. Oh, you're not treading water during a family meeting. He said, right, it's a week until Christmas, and I'm just going to let you know that Ruth is getting the Spice Girls album.
Yes.
Well, where were you then?
I can believe he wanted the Spice Girls album. Sure, fine. But no, none of the rest of this story is true.
Because at the time, I looked like I overreacted.
I fully believe he might have tried to drown himself because he got bad news at another time. That is a childish thing to do. It's like a 5-year-old not, getting, having to share their toy with their sibling, or having to go to bed at a certain time and then deciding they're going to run away. And, they run away to the end of the block, It seems like a childish thing to do, so I believe it happened at some point, but not over this.
Reaction. Paint a picture of how a young James reacted.
It was like a storm came over me. I was very angry. And then I turned and I walked to the other end of the shallow end. I did a width.
Yeah.
I would have stormed away, but it's very hard.
Yeah.
Wade through the water. You have to say every now and again, I'm really cross. Went to the other end, and I turned round so they could see my face. and I just sat down slowly.
See, again, I believe this happened, but not in this instance.
And I was under the water. I went, well, I was thinking this. I guess I'll either stay here until one of two things happens. Either I get the Spice Girls' debut album Spice, or I'm gonna die.
Which happened?
Well, what happened was, I came back up again, and I saw that not only were they not, they were just carried on swimming. They got always under the water now, and my dad quickly went, problem solved, and they carried on swimming.
What are you thinking, Noddy?
I just don't think his dad would do that. I think he'd buy 2 albums.
Oh, I'm unaware that you knew my father, Noddy.
I just don't think it happened now.
What do you think about the 2 albums buying issue?
Well, like, as a parent, I just would have thought that just quietly, like, going off to HMV to buy an album is easier than taking the whole family for a group swim.
So what's he gonna...
It's certainly easier than trying to make your kids share if they're like a year or 2 apart.
Say, David, what's it gonna be?
I think it's false.
I'll say lie.
You think that you both think it's a lie? I'm going to say lie.
Okay. James, were you telling us the truth, or was it a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Wow. All right.
Yes, it's true. James did try to drown himself in protest over his Christmas presents. Please welcome this week's special guest.
I was wrong about that
Jerry.
one. Ooh, another special guest.
This is Jerry, and he was the policeman who came to investigate when I was heard screaming during a Christmas game of Twister.
This is Jerry. He's the fireman who every Boxing Day soaks me with water during a festive game of Squirt.
What?
Why don't you demonstrate the twister? James, what are you doing?
Playing the twister mat.
James Acaster.
Now, what about James?
OK, James.
Just remind us, James, what it was that you said.
Jerry is the fireman who every Boxing Day soaks me with water during a festive game of Squirt.
Oh.
Okay.
What's squirt?
What's going on?
I thought it was a drink.
Squirt is a game.
Is it?
Yeah, is it?
Yeah. 2 teams of firemen.
OK, so that's for a game of Squirt, the first thing you need is 2 teams of fire.
And they go either side of a river.
Okay.
And you get a rope and you tie it up in a tree at one side of the river, and then you run it along and you tie it to a tree at the other side of the river.
Yeah.
But before you've tied it to the other side, you thread a barrel across it.
Of course you do.
Just thread a barrel.
Yeah. What if there's a fire in the local area during the lengthy setup for a game of Squirt?
Well, he's not. They can't put out fires anyway. He's only volunteer.
Sorry?
They're just a volunteer fire brigade. They're not allowed to put out fires.
What are they allowed to do? Just look at them?
They are permitted to pick up litter.
Where do they get the fire engines and everything from then?
Their fire engine's an old one. It's more like a ice cream van that's painted red.
The volunteers, do they have the uniforms?
No. The Kettering Volunteer Fire Brigade have a T-shirt, and it has an emblem on it of a fire being put out by a beer.
That sounds true. That sounds like it's a thing that would exist, especially for a volunteer fire brigade.
Take us through the rules of Squirt.
OK.
Let me come up with the rules of squirt.
You get the barrel to the middle of the rope, right in the middle of the rope, and then both teams aim their hoses at it.
Are the volunteer firemen allowed real water, or do they just mime it?
No, they're allowed water, they just can't aim it at a fire.
OK.
If there was a fire, they would have to turn the hose off.
Right.
So what happens next?
Someone's like, go! And then they both turn their hoses on and they aim it at the barrel. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the barrel, trying to squirt it along the rope so it gets to the opposition side of the bank. And all the water is hitting this barrel, and we're standing on the bridge.
Oh.
Getting soaked.
Yeah.
You know, at first I thought that he was trying to figure something out. This sounds like a thing that would happen as like a Christmas celebration. I can see this happening in quite a few areas. I don't know much about Kettering, where he comes from, but I can see this happening. I can fully see this being a thing.
And then you walk home going, good squirt this year.
I mean, there's like the polar bear plunge and all of that. That's a thing too.
You think it's James's?
I can see
I
it
think
happening.
it's Sean.
I mean, I think we're agreed Lee is lying.
Yeah.
That seems to be the theme so far from what I have seen from a lot of these Wilty things. Lee lies.
Question is it James or Sean?
I think it's a mate of James's from the pub who was a volunteer fireman.
I'm not happy about this. Because my instinct is that James is telling the truth.
Right.
But I know what that's saying publicly. I know what I am then believing. I'm believing a game that is played across a river between volunteer firemen with a souped-up ice cream van.
I can see that. I mean, oh yeah, the ice cream van thing though. But the ice cream, ooh. It's the ice cream van thing that, like, the game I fully believe could be something that happens. It's the crappy ice cream van painted red that I have a hard time believing.
The locals come and stand and watch in just the place where they get splattered.
They do. I believe that. Like, splash zones are a thing everywhere, and people, and, you know, especially if it's for charity or something, 100%, like, that's something people would do. It's the crappy ice. Why was she screaming during a game of Twister, though? I'm gonna go with he was telling the truth.
What's it gonna be?
I think it's James.
You're gonna go with James?
Yeah, go on. I'm
Jerry,
saying it's James.
would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jerry, and I'm a volunteer fireman who soaks drains in Boston Road.
Hello, Jerry.
Yes, Jerry is James's fireman friend. Thank you very much, Jerry.
Until last year, I believed that reindeer were fictional creatures like unicorns, until my 6-year-old daughter told me the truth.
Is it because Father Christmas's reindeers fly? So that's why they couldn't
yeah,
possibly
maybe
be
that's
true.
why I came to that conclusion.
Yeah.
You were aware of deer, though, weren't
You
you?
know what? I can see it coming under that, coming up to that conclusion. Like, you got deer, and then you've got reindeer, and if reindeer belong to Santa, and if Santa's not around, I don't know who watches these. But if reindeer belong to Santa, it's a safe bet that there are no actual reindeer. I can see coming to that conclusion. But at the same time, I read Julia the Wolves, so I didn't know reindeer existed.
Yes, actually I was.
So you'd
Because
seen
of Bambi.
deer?
Hang on, because of a fiction. This doesn't make sense. You've seen a fictional reindeer.
Well, if
Flying in the sky.
if Bambi flew, then I probably wouldn't have believed in deer.
What about Dumbo? Did you not believe in elephants? Did you stop believing in carpets when you saw Aladdin?
I mean, I can see people getting into these, like, blind spots. Like, that's a thing that does happen. It's like, you get an idea into your head when you're young, and then, like, nothing ever really disproves that. Like, you just don't hear about, you know, especially if you're not from an area that has reindeer, for instance. Like, I mean, I don't know how you get to become a grown adult and not know about reindeer, but you know, I'm sure there's something that like I like had an idea of until like recently. Like I'm sure that that kind of thing exists in my life too. I think it exists. I think it could be true.
I don't understand how you can go through life without seeing a real reindeer.
Sorry, are we talking about reindeer? Not.
Hello, David.
No, but. I mean, I still can't believe that giraffes are real. I've been to the zoo and I've seen giraffes. I still don't quite believe they're real.
Did you get out and feel it like Noddy would?
Isn't giraffes where like a questing beast came from though? Like in mythology, like people described a giraffe and then when it got back to like Britain or wherever, they thought it was like the way that it was described, it sounded like a monster. So they compiled like this creature together that became the questing beast. Isn't that where like what happened with giraffes? I don't know.
I think it's a lie.
I was telling a lie.
Ah, okay.
Last Christmas, my brother bought me this iPad. I've never turned it on.
That I believe.
But I have used it to kill a wasp and carry 3 mugs of hot chocolate.
Yes, done. He did that, 100%.
Who are the mugs of hot chocolate for? Go.
Sorry?
Who are the mugs of hot chocolate for? Say them now, without thinking.
Too much pressure. I don't know 3 people. It's a lie.
Did you kill the wasp with the glass side or the non-glass side?
The non-glass side.
Okay.
How hard did you hit it?
Well, it's dead. It wasn't like a great sweeping, you know, smash.
Was it mid-air?
It was more of a sort of a press and lean.
If you kill a wasp, you don't slowly press
Yeah,
it
you do.
like a psychopath.
Yeah, you do. How else are you supposed like if you don't have a fly swatter, you gotta sneak up on that thing.
He only said that he does the push and press because he knew that there wasn't any dints on it.
No.
It's time to take a guess.
Lie?
It is a lie.
I was telling a lie.
Well, I believed him. I'm bad at this game. I was like, I don't know much about David Mitchell other than what I've seen on Big Fat Quiz, but I was like, nah, this bra has never, ever turned on an iPad in his life, and he would use it to kill a wasp, but... Oh well, I was wrong. I'm bad at that game. Thank you very much for coming with me on this little wilty journey on Americans Learn. If there's any other anything else that you'd like me to react to for this channel, this is also supposed to be about like, you know, broadening horizons and like getting invested in shows or people that I wouldn't usually know about because it doesn't necessarily come easy. Like we don't get it on TV here, or it's like, you know, not on my Netflix or whatever. So if there's anything that you would like me to react to in that vein, please let me know. I really do enjoy a lot of these panel shows, especially. But if there's other creators, if there is something particular that you think would be interesting, like any kind of compare and contrast videos, anything like that, please let me know in the comments. If you like this, make sure you let us know by liking the video or subscribing to this channel. We really appreciate it. We can't really do this without you guys. So thank you very much. And for everyone who's here from Chicago Reacts, thanks for following us over here as well. We love you very much. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.